Hey everybody, welcome to the Out the Trunk podcast with Jordan and Darius. My name is Jordan. You can find me on all socials at Jordan B Writing. This is our movie review segment.
And my name is Darius. I'm D's all up in your area on all socials.
And today we're going to be reviewing Gone Girl. This movie came out in 2014, starring Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, Neil Patrick Harris, Tyler Perry slash Medea, Carrie Coon, and Kim Dickens. A former New York writer returns to his Missouri hometown with his wife Amy for their fifth wedding anniversary. On the morning of their anniversary, Amy mysteriously vanishes, and her husband Nick becomes a prime suspect. The media frenzy and a police investigation reveal hidden secrets about their marriage and their identities. So I'll toss it to you for opening act one.
One quick sort of note, they didn't move back for the anniversary. They just moved back because
Correct.
his
Yes,
mom
they
was sick. And
sick.
the movie starts on their fifth wedding anniversary. Act one, the disappearance. On their fifth wedding anniversary, Nick Dune, whatever, wife Amy disappears from their Missouri home. The police and media immediately focus their suspicion on Nick as the case gains national attention. Two things off the rip. Amazingly fast turnaround. This book was released in 2012. They had a movie by 2014. That's
Yeah, that shit was
insane.
nuts.
Also, this is a blatant ripoff of the Scott and Lacey Peterson story. Uh,
Yeah, that's true.
it's okay.
That's
It's
true.
okay. I mean, she did
Uh,
enough to make it
yes,
original, but it's a blatant ripoff of the Scott and Lacey Peterson
that is
story.
true.
It is one of the
Yeah.
few movie adaptations though that stays true to the novel. There's
Oh,
no wild
correct.
divergence
You know
in
why that is, though, right?
why is that?
The writer of the screenplay is the writer of the novel.
That makes sense. George R. R. Martin kept Game of Thrones on the tracks until he quit, but
Yeah, until you started to take PTO for 8 years.
yeah, well, it's been 15 years since the last book.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, what do you got for Act One, man?
Um, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite thrillers of all time. Also, I'm a big fan of David Fincher. Um, I love the writing in this movie. I think is fucking fantastic. That opening line or opening scene where he's like stroking her hair, and he's like, "I want to crack her head open." And when you first watch it, you're like, "What the fuck?" And then he's like, "And then spoil her marriage and know what she's thinking." And it's like, "Oh, well, that makes sense." But I love the metaphor there, and how it just grabs you right away and lets you know that this is gonna be some different shit.
Uh, yes. It's a great beginning because they wrap it up in the ending in the same way.
Right.
Yeah, I also love this movie. I saw it in the theaters, totally blind, hadn't read the book, had nothing about it. I lived
Hmm.
in 2014, so I lived in California at the time, so I just spent a lot of time at the movies. I
Okay.
didn't have shit else to do, so I just would just see everything, and I didn't see the twist coming. I didn't see. I just went in totally dark, no trailers, no nothing. And one of the few true shocking, did not see that coming twists in a
Yeah.
movie I've ever been in. Most of the time,
Yes.
you kind of pretend to be shocked, but you really saw it. I didn't.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't see it coming at all. So I agree. One of the true original, even if it was blatantly rip off of a true crime story, one of the true original
Correct.
movies that I've seen in ever. Let me ask you this, man. Would you ever let your child
Yeah.
be a kid be a child star?
Huh. That's a good question. Define kid like how old? Because
Well,
that would kind of
how old was a smart guy? 12,
he was
13?
like 10 or 11, something like
Yeah,
that.
10. We'll
Taj
go with
Mowry.
could credibly play a middle schooler in a TV show.
Okay. I'd have to really like me and my wife we'd have to really have like our job situation where we could be like with them a lot. Obviously, I don't know if you've seen that documentary or heard about that Quiet on Set documentary with
Yeah,
the
the
Nickelodeon
Nickelodeon
kids.
one.
Uh, yeah, my kids are not going to be on no film movie set by themselves, all those adults. That's not happening. So it depends on that. But in theory, honestly, I'd probably say no. No child should be not no child should because children do act and some of them turn
Yeah.
out okay. But for the most part, children should not be around that many adults. I don't think
No.
that's healthy or safe. Also, they shouldn't be working.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
job.
so yeah, I would say no.
It's a no for me, dog. I mean, we got about
Yeah,
50-year sample of this shit having a high fail
correct.
rate, like to the point where
Yeah,
we're surprised when a child star turns out like
comes
well
out
adjusted.
okay.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna either bank on my kid being the 1% that turns out okay, or just not subject them to this. I'm just not
right.
gonna subject them to this. Like,
Like we can maybe name 10 child stars that turned out okay from what we
yeah,
know.
and they
on the
stand out
surface.
because of that. Like
Right.
it's so rare. Like what Amanda Bynes is like smoking
Yeah.
crack on TikTok right now. I,
Yeah.
it's just like
It's a shame
no,
because
no,
she's been through
no.
a lot, and she was insanely is insanely talented.
Miley Cyrus would count as well
She was
adjusted now, but she went through
she
a
was
little
spazzing for a
phase.
while. Zac Efron
Um,
had his issues for a minute.
uh,
Michael Jackson, the most famous one. I mean, we know how that story ended.
I mean, you
Who
got
else? Uh,
the people know.
F
I mean, we don't
like
like
Usher turned out okay, all things considered. I think.
sure. Bow Wow had
Um,
his little moment. Soldier Boy is crazy as hell.
yeah,
I do think it matters.
Bieber
Like,
comes and goes.
I don't think we can count that one as a win.
But he don't miss on his albums though.
No, he hasn't been able to sing in a long time, but he does. He makes good music. But no,
Um,
I think there's a level of hubris thinking that you can create this situation where it would work when, as if you had know something that no one else has tried before.
yeah, that's
Uh,
true. Yeah, you're
it's
right.
easy to say I would never be my child. I would always be on set with your child, and I know
That's
that's
true.
probably how a lot of people start thinking it's going to be.
Yeah.
But then life
Hmm.
happens, and then
Yeah, you're right.
some director that you've worked with for the last three things is like, "Oh, it's fine.
Hmm.
You got to work today. He's with me. He's good." And then you get
Right.
used to that, and it's like there was never you went into it with all the good intentions, but then
Correct. Because that's what
your
happened with
car breaks
Drake
down, and
Bell and his parents.
he really wants this audition, but you
Hmm.
have to travel for work, so you're just like, "Okay, just this one time you can do it." And then that one
Right.
time it worked out. So you're like, okay, well, what's wrong with another time? It worked last time. And that's how you create bad habits. And it's not
That's
that I
true.
don't think all of their parents went into it being negligent. It's just
Yeah.
that life happens and it's easy to get sucked into comfort.
Correct.
And,
And the
I
problem
just
is
wouldn't
too,
even want to put myself in those positions.
the problem is too, they become the providers for their families
Yeah.
too. Like even if the kid doesn't want to do it, they are either forced to or guilty to.
Well, that shit for me,
Um,
nah. All of their money is theirs. Going to put it in the trust. You can do it
yeah,
when you turn 21. Because
yeah,
if you're doing this for me, nah, nah. If you
yeah,
earn any money, if my kid earns any money doing it, trust, you get it when you turn 21, you can get your bag then because that's your money. Kids should
right.
not be providing for their parents.
True.
It's just
Also, like
not
just
a
even
thing.
just like the for the listeners, I guess, because if they haven't seen the movie, like the main character Amy, her parents have a book series called Amazing Amy
We should
about her
explain that,
childhood.
yeah.
Yeah, about her childhood, and they basically everything that Amy did in real life, they one up with this with the child character,
Yeah.
with the character in the book, which is psychotic to me.
Yeah.
I think that's insane. I'd maybe create a
Amazing
character that
Amy.
looked like the daughter. Say it again.
I said Amazing Amy was the name of
Oh,
her
yeah,
childhood
Amazing
character.
Amy. Yeah, and I would maybe use a character that looked like her, but I wouldn't use my child's life as a plot device. I think that's crazy.
Also, she's loaning her parents money from, I think she
Her
gave her
trust
parents like a
fund.
couple $100,000 and like
Yeah, yeah.
and she did not turn out well.
No, she did not turn out to be well adjusted.
Not in the
Safe to say, she was
slightest.
deeply impacted by that behavior. Um,
Um, one thing I will say that I hate. So at the beginning
yeah,
of the movie, she disappears. It's
right.
something I hate about true crime in general, and it's readily apparent. Like there's signs of a struggle in the house. He calls the cops. There's blood. Da 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 da
Right.
da. And the police and the public are like, the husband isn't grieving correctly. And I'm here
Yeah.
to say that is pop psychology. You don't know how someone will react under stressful situations, and you
Right.
cannot. Grief is all grief
Project.
isn't performative. All grief doesn't look like a movie, and
Yeah, you can't
sometimes
project that
people
onto someone.
grieving just turn stoic. Like it's not
Yeah.
unheard of. And you see it a lot of true crime podcasts. You see a lot of media
Hmm.
stories where like the husband doesn't look sad enough. Well, who the
It's
fuck?
like
What does that mean?
what? What? First of all, men are not taught to like look sad, so there's
Also,
that.
it's not helpful. How is
Yeah,
freaking out going to help
freaking
anything?
God. Exactly.
Furthermore,
And
like,
if he
oh, he
was
took a
spazzing,
selfie and he was smiling in the selfie. Okay, that was 10 seconds of his day. Like
yeah,
you don't know. I hate that shit. Like, when police are like,
yeah,
well, let's tell him the bad news. And if he doesn't fall out crying, he did
yeah. It's like
it.
people could be shocked. Like you never know how people react to things. Um, that is very true. And also, just it's like okay, and if he spazzed or if he was emotional, y'all would be like, oh, that's a sign of clear guilt.
Yeah.
So this it's really a lose lose in that situation anyway. Um, But I did want to say, so this movie, obviously, there's a lot of time jump. Well, the whole movie is a giant time jump, basically. But I did want to say, I liked how that they spliced like the investigation scenes with like the fairy tale of like when they were first fell in love or like the good moments or whatever. I thought that was really dope. How they kind of showed that. And I think also there's a tone in this movie that of like obviously this movie has a lot of satirical elements to it. Like the score is very like it sounds like a rom-com score almost, like the piano,
Yeah.
but they're playing it during like some of the worst moments in the movie, which I think is kind of cool. Um, one scene I thought was interesting was where he's in the interrogation room with the two cops,
Yeah.
and they're like asking her questions, and he just knows nothing about his wife's life at all.
She doesn't have any friends. She doesn't
Yeah, what did she do with her day? I don't
yeah.
know. And then they're like, "What's her blood type?" And he's like, I think type O, whatever." He was wrong. And it's funny. It's the first time I saw that scene. I was like, "Damn, I guess that'd be important if like an emergency happened." And then when the cop was like, "Should I know my wife's blood type?" And she's like, "No, that sounds like a murderer."
Yeah, well, you should because you don't know in case of emergencies, but
Right.
most people don't know their wife's blood type. Most people don't know their own blood type.
I'm about to say most people don't know their own blood type. So,
So it is the, the circumstances with which you would need that information are not frequent, and so I understand.
correct.
You might even have it written down somewhere, but you're not
That
like
is
off the
true.
cuff in a police interrogation. You're supposed to know it. Like that's,
And you're stressed. Your wife's been gone. You probably haven't
right.
slept all day. Like,
You might have that information, hell, in your wallet or in your safe or whatever.
yeah,
It's
that's
not to
true.
say that, like, what hospital was your wife born at? Motherfucker, I don't know. I go get the birth certificate when people ask. Like, off
Yeah,
the top of my head. Um, so
that's
yeah,
true.
I mean, the movie does a good job of making him look very guilty, but it also does a good job of explaining why he looked so guilty. And
Right.
so
Just yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they always say like in court and law or whatever that the most difficult person to defend is an innocent person
Yeah.
because more often than not they're not gonna have an alibi or they're not gonna have a defense because you're not prepared to defend yourself.
Also, the way memory that's why people say don't talk to police because you will
Yeah,
contradict yourself because you just
you're right.
don't. Where were you at 3 o'clock last Saturday? Like, do
I,
you really trust yourself
do
to
you really
know?
know?
Like,
Yeah,
like unless
right.
you were like, oh, I was at the house playing. Okay, prime example. Someone asked
Hmm.
me, where were you last Saturday at 3 o'clock? I instincted to say I was at the crib playing Madden, but I could have
Yeah,
been out for a jog because I jog
yeah,
on Saturday. But was I
right.
jogging between 3 and 4? Off the top of my head, I wouldn't remember.
Correct. I was I
And now
was
that
I was
person's
thinking about the
like,
same thing. Yep.
now the cop is like, no, you weren't. You were out for a jog. Your neighbor saw you and you waved at him. And I'm like,
And then you're like, oh
shit.
shit, yeah, I
Now I
did.
look like a liar. But
Right.
I'm not. That's why
Correct.
you don't talk in those
Like
interrogations. Like,
exactly. So for me, it's like, the only time of day and certain days where I know exactly where I was at that I can tell you is if it's between 8 to 5, I'm working.
yeah,
If it's a Thursday, I'm on site, so I can tell you I'm at the office.
right,
If it's between 8 and 10 on a Tuesday because I'm recording,
right.
and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm liable to be anywhere else any time of day.
You think you're better at at it than you
Remembering that
believe.
shit.
Right. Because
Yeah.
again, how like some Saturdays I jog at 3, some Saturdays I jog at noon. It just depends on when I feel like it because I'm off that day.
Right.
And if I
Yep.
say I was at the crib playing Madden, but a neighbor saw me jogging, now I'm lying.
Right.
And
It's
that's why
even
you
like
don't talk.
remember that
Right.
scene the scene in one of my favorite courtroom dramas is 12 Angry Men. And there's a scene where they're like, "Oh, he couldn't remember what movie he saw the night his father died."
Yeah.
And then the guy was like, "Okay, well, all right. Well, what did you do like what were you doing 2 weeks ago?"
Yeah.
Or sorry, what were you doing Wednesday night? "Oh, I
Yeah.
was doing this." "What were you doing Thursday night?" "I was doing this." "Last Friday." And he was like, "Oh, I went to the movie." He's like, "Okay, cool. What movie did you see?" And the guy was like, "It was the picture with the guy in the." He's like, "And you weren't even under duress."
Right.
You
You weren't
know?
even being interrogated by, and again, the police are professionals and they can lie to you. So
Yeah.
like it's again, it's easy to think. I get it. You think, oh, I know what movie I saw last Tuesday. Do you?
Right.
Do you?
Do you?
Because you're willing to bet your freedom on it. You know,
Right.
like, believe me, it's harder than it sounds.
It
You
is.
know, you got anything else for Act One?
Um, yeah, I wanted to ask you this kind of a silly question, or a fun question. If you owned a bar, what would you name it?
I'm gonna
It's funny because we
steal.
talked about this in the group chat.
I'm gonna steal from life and call it D's Boom Boom Room.
Okay.
That's another thing. I think we go back to this trope often. If we hit the lottery, I would buy a bar and just
Yeah, hell
hire
yeah.
someone to run it and be like, I don't even care if this motherfucker makes money. I just want to own a bar. Like,
Yeah, just say I own it. I want to
don't
be able
give
to
the
walk
store
in and
away, but like, I don't
yeah,
actually like. We're not here. You don't have to work 14 hours a day to turn a profit.
right.
I'm filthy fucking rich as a tax write-off. I just want to own a bar. You know,
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be dope.
like just run it like a business. Don't do anything. Don't, but like
Yeah,
you don't
don't
have
burn
to
it
kill
down.
yourself trying to turn a profit. Just
Right.
I'll pay you well. You'll have health insurance. You get a staff, but I just want to own a bar and I don't want to think
I
about
feel
it,
you.
but I don't care if it makes money. You know.
I'm
You
down.
know.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be
Like,
fun.
but no, D's boom boom room. How about you?
Uh, hmm. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'd probably call it I'd probably call it like the film room, and it'd be like
Okay.
movie themed.
Okay. What would you? It'd be movie. I just literally you just said movie themed. So would you? Okay, would you put the sound on the movies, or would you
Um,
just have the movies playing in the background?
I don't even know that I'd necessarily have movies playing at the place. Like
Okay.
I think I would just have it look like so. Like for example, like I saw this tweet once where there was like, I wish there was a place you could go after you've seen a movie, like in a movie theater, and just talk about it with people.
Yeah.
And like it would be a place like that, like where it'd be like a dope lounge, like cool cocktail bar, like kind of dark, moody type shit. Um, like with a speakeasy vibe, and then maybe have like yeah, I had some yeah, you know what, I'd have some movies playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I'd have some sound. I'd have little touch tunes, whatever. Maybe a small dance floor or something like that. Little patio, outdoor patio, nice outdoor area with some dope lights. Um, yeah,
Fair enough. I'm into it. All right, let's get into Act Two. The investigation. As the police investigation intensifies, secrets about the We're gonna have to pick one. Troubled marriage begin to
done.
surface.
It's done.
Done. The Dunn's troubled marriage begins to surface. Nick's strange behavior and lies make him look increasingly guilty, and a public relations battle ensues. Let me tell the fellas one thing: if you don't hear anything else I tell you, listen to this. You cannot lay up with a woman unemployed. That's not gonna work.
No, it's never gonna.
It don't
You
matter.
have to. You have to free her.
She can't if she leave for work and you playing the game and she come home and you in that same
If you playing
spot,
the game,
that's not going. I don't care
it's
what she
never gonna work.
says.
She will never respect you.
She will not respect you. You can't be in the same spot she left you when she get home.
No, you
Like,
can't. You can't.
you
Man,
just cannot be that.
here's how serious that information is. I was in a relationship with the girl and we were together and I was staying at her crib because I had the day off or whatever. And I worked at the time I was working 12 to 9. So like I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna sleep in today." So she leaves for work at 9, whatever. I'm up taking care of the dog, whatever, whoop de whoop. She's like, "Hey, can you clean the kitchen for me?" Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm thinking I have all day to clean the kitchen because she's gonna come home at 5.
Oh no.
And
Oh
she
no.
came home early for her lunch break. And I was like, sleep. And you would have thought
Oh
she caught
no.
me. You would have thought she caught me like in a woman, like literally. You would have thought she found me like in an orgy. The way she reacted, it was like, yo, I didn't know you could come home for lunch. God forbid.
You had one job. I'm at work. You had one job all day, and I come home. Not only is it not done, but you sleep. Hell no.
She
I've been at
walked in,
work
she saw
all
me.
day and you still sleep. Not only is it not done, but you're sleep in the afternoon. In the
You would have
afternoon,
thought you would have thought she caught me cheating.
I'm with her on this one. You was wrong for that.
But again, I work from 12 to 9, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sleep during the time I would be at work because otherwise, what's the point of taking the day off? Also, if she came home at 5, the kitchen would have been clean. What's the problem? But
I
yes, no,
missed
that
the
is serious.
part. Okay. All right.
Like
Yeah. I don't
she
know.
dragged it.
50-50.
She
We're gonna call
dragged
that
it,
one down to
man. She
play.
dragged it.
Offsetting penalties, replay first down.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I feel you. It wasn't egregious. It wasn't like, yeah.
we're gonna
If
call
she came
those
home at
offsetting
4:30
penalties.
and I was asleep, I'd be like, okay, you got me.
I didn't know
It
you
was
worked the
noon.
second shift. I didn't know that
Yeah,
it was your day off. That's a little different.
yeah. It
But
wasn't
how
like
long was it gonna take to bust some suds? Like, how many dishes could it have been?
It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. That's why I was like, yo, dude, it's gonna take me 20 minutes. It's fine. But you know,
One thing
and
about
even
it
when
is if she leaves you a to-do list, knock that out
yeah,
before the fun. Just
yeah,
go ahead, knock that to-do
that is
list
true.
out,
That is true.
and then you can have the rest of your day. That way it's off your plate. You ain't gotta worry about it. She comes home
Yeah,
early, it's done.
that's true.
Just pick your battles.
Yeah, that's true.
What you got for Act Two, man?
Um, so I got in Act Two, I got the affair, the reveal of the affair happening.
Yeah.
Which we realized who he'd been secretly calling throughout the scenes in the movie because he kept being on his phone, but we never forgot who he was talking to because he only ever talked to his sister for the most part. So,
Twin sister.
um, yeah, twin sister.
Okay, so
I'm not
it's
one
not
to
like he
advocate
had
for
the affair
cheating.
thinking my wife is going to disappear.
Right.
And so his wife disappears, and he realizes that he's a subject in the investigation, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
He has a 20-year-old mistress
Yeah.
whom he knows if it comes out, this only
You're
makes it
done.
worse for me.
You're
So
done.
I understand
He's
why he
got to
would
make
use
her
some,
happy.
he's got to manage that because that is a
He's got to keep her
crisis.
happy.
He's got a lot of balls in the air, but this
Yeah.
one is a bomb, and he's got to
Correct.
keep that
I
bomb under wraps.
keep it a buck. I might have just proposed to her just to shut her up. I'm not gonna lie
That's
to
what the
you.
sex in his sister's house was.
Yeah, that's all that was. That's all that was.
You know, some nice titties, but it was. I was like, man,
Yeah, no, it's Emily Ratajkowski. Or I forgot how to say her name, but yeah, she's fine as hell.
I, sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. She, the five scenes she was in were great. Nonetheless,
yes,
I understand why people would look at that and be like, you're expending energy on your mistress with your wife missing. But I also understand
yeah,
how, in his position where he's an innocent man,
right.
spoiler alert, and he's
You've got
trying
to
to
keep
navigate
the
being he doesn't know what's going on. He
correct,
thinks his wife was kidnapped.
right.
Nobody
And
believes
the
him.
one thing that's basically would provide the ultimate motive, he has to keep that bomb in the box.
And also, like, ripped straight from the Scott and Lacey Peterson thing. His in-laws are on his side.
Yes.
They're like, he didn't do this. This is a kidnapping investigation. Why are y'all doing it? Blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
And just like in the Scott and Lacey thing, once the mistress came out, the in-laws flipped. And once the in-laws
It was
flipped,
over.
he was charged with
It
murder.
was over.
So like he's under an immense amount of stress and he's managing
Yep.
a lot of personalities at the time. So
Correct.
when did you realize that the diary entries were like fake or
Fake.
I mean obviously you
Uh,
realize it when she at the big reveal, but like
right.
when did your spidey senses start tingling?
Um, I look at it's hard to say because I think the first time I saw the movie, I saw it like in bits and pieces, so I kept catching it in the middle before I saw it from the beginning. So I think I saw the like part of the twist before I saw the whole movie, I want to say.
Yeah.
But I think just as a reframing it as a first time viewer, I'd probably say when he started finding the clues, honestly, I'd have been like, "Oh, nah, she ain't. Nah, she's somewhere. She ain't dead."
It
Um,
wasn't the clues for me. It was when he threw her into the staircase, and I was like, that
you
just
know
feels
what? You're
so.
right. You're right.
That felt like a movie for the first time,
Yeah.
and I was just
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
it was almost shot like a fucking Mortal Kombat scene where
Yeah.
he almost like hold it, and she just
Oh, you
like
can.
shot, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I was like, huh,
And because also like his character
oh,
is
like that's just when my
essentially
logged it. What'd you say?
because his character is basically like a likable, like apathetic dope,
Yeah,
basically. So that doesn't align with. I mean, I'm not. It's essentially a crime of passion, right? Is
right,
the category that I fall under.
correct.
That didn't align with any of his characteristics at all. Um.
Yeah, the
So
story
yes, I'd
tells
say
it
that.
that he found out that she was pregnant, and I guess he was supposed to kill her because she found out she was pregnant or something like that.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and I saw that scene, and I just first time watching it, I'm like, hmm. It didn't all the way. I'm just
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
Log that for later, and then when it comes out that the
Yeah.
diaries are fake, she's actually writing these with the intent for the police to find them, which that was
Correct.
her first fuck up. Was
That was her
like,
fuck up. I was gonna ask you
why
that.
why is this diary? Why would he drive to this place and half burn a diary?
You could burn that anywhere.
Right. And why would he bring them to his dad's house? Like,
Also, how do you not burn a diary in a furnace when you turn the furnace on?
I
Like
mean, the cop
none of
even
it made
said
any sense.
that. The cop was like, "How do you half burn a diary?"
Right.
Like it doesn't. Like that was her first fuck
Um,
up.
Correct. Yes, I agree. I think that was her first mistake. I will say I liked even the part about the narrative of her not being the one that didn't want the baby,
Yeah.
but he was protecting her because if he told the cops that she didn't want a baby, it would make her as a woman look harsh or cold. You know, that's the whole stigma. So I like that was a big plot point in the movie. Whereas that was why he had to lie to his sister because his sister already hated her. So he was like, no, I don't want kids or, whatever. I thought that was some interesting um, profiling, especially like the way the social commentary, which is a lot of what the movie's about. Um, also shout out to the actress who played his twin sister. She was phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody in this movie was fucking great, but their chemistry as twins, I thought was awesome to see.
When she caught him, when so the 20-year-old leaves, and she's like, "Are you
Yeah,
fucking kidding me?"
are you fucking kidding me?
And she's just like, "You're fucking a 20-year-old who doesn't even know where she leaves her underwear." Like it just that whole scene was just
Yeah,
like he's finally telling her the truth, and she just hitting him with. She's almost like a surrogate for the audience. Like
right,
she's asking him questions that I'm thinking, and it was perfect.
correct.
I love that. I love the sister.
Me too.
So anything else for Act Two?
Um, yeah. So, do you have the reveal in Act Two?
I had it in Act Three, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah. So then, in that case, yeah, then we can go to Act Three because I got all that shit in Act Three.
Act three, the unveiling. The story reaches a shocking climax as the truth behind Amy's disappearance is finally revealed. The narrative takes an unexpected turn, exploring themes of media manipulation and the complexities of human relationships. This is probably our earliest Act three because it reveals what an hour into an hour 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah,
Maybe it's hour 15. It was basically halfway through the movie.
halfway through the
Uh,
movie. Yeah, and it's
this
really
is where
basically
we
two
get
movies.
this is where we get some prominent Tyler Perry, and let me just say he's actually good when he's not
He
in
was. I
charge.
was gonna say. I made a point. He was really, really good in this.
Yes, he
I
should
think
do
part of
more
it is
things
because
where he's not in charge of everything.
that is true. He's not in charge of everything. He's also not the main character, which I think really helps.
It does.
And he's not trying to. I don't know, paint these tropes. He can't paint a trope because he's only a stock character.
He's just like, look, I need you to do this, say these lines, wear the suit,
Yep,
get in and out like a robber.
yep. And he was really good. So I did want to give him his props on that.
So the audience should know basically, she's missing, and then all of a sudden you see her in a car driving away, and you're thinking it's a flashback, but it just says day one or disappearance day one.
Day one
And
missing.
it's
Yeah,
revealed that she plotted this whole thing. She found out about the affair, and she's going to commit suicide and make it look like he killed her. And that's what this whole situation is.
skiing was about.
Correct. To the befriending the dumb neighbor and setting
Yep,
her up and fake she
taking
took
her
the pregnant
piss.
labor's piss to make it look like she was pregnant. She ran up the credit card debt to make it look like he was buying stuff that she couldn't afford to make them look like they were under financial stress.
Hmm.
Um, Yada 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 yada. So it was all orchestrated by her to make it look like he killed her. And she almost got away if it wasn't for those
It's one for
crazy
those
kids,
meddling kids.
crackheads in the
Right.
trailer park.
You're right.
She was moving wild reckless in that trailer park. Like
She was
you supposed to
she
lay
got her
low.
her arrogance got the best of her. She
Yeah,
made a lot
like
of mistakes.
why are you at the pool? You need to be
Yeah.
locked
Lock the fuck
away.
away.
Yeah,
Like Rapunzel.
they got
Why do you
TVs
have
out
all
there. This ain't 1965. Like
Yeah, dude. Why do you have all the money on your person? That's stupid. Um,
career criminal, she was not.
yeah, not at all. It's funny because she thought she was so much smarter than everyone, and she ended up outsmarting herself.
Well, she got away with it.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I
The
don't know if you
end,
consider living with the person you hate to be getting away with it.
fair, but
Um,
given where she should be, she up. Uh,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
she
Um,
ended up in a better place than where she should be.
I will say I did love the fact that she broke the fourth wall right in the moment where it's revealed that she's alive, where she's like, I, where she's like looking at the camera like, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah,
Um, And I really like the monologue she had about like everything she did for him and how he did kill her without actually killing her, you know. Talking about like the cool girl archetype and kind of breaking down everything that women go through to kind of appease men. I thought that was interesting. I mean, it's her choice, so it's not like, you know, no one put a gun in her head, obviously. But I just thought that was an interesting perspective to hear in a movie, which we don't really get to see, especially because she spoke so rawly. It wasn't like, oh, I have to keep in shape and wear heels. It was like, no, I blew this nigga and I fucking whacked my pussy and you know
Yeah.
whatever. I thought that was kind of dope that she just was like took the governor off, so to speak, because her whole life was constructed around this image of perfection, and she was just kind of talking about the toll that it took on her, which I guess now thinking back, it probably you know stemmed back from her childhood, but I thought that was really dope.
Yeah, I agree. She's crazy as shit, but
Batshit crazy.
she does a good job of explaining the crazy.
Yeah, you do get why she did it.
Yes, I get why someone given her upbringing in that set of
Yeah,
circumstances would snap.
would
Uh,
snap. Yes, because
oh,
she hated
just
her parents.
well, she was.
Um,
I mean, they were on her dime the whole time.
yeah,
So, um, let me just say, let's get back to making movies based on good books like this. Just
yeah,
everything doesn't need to be an interconnected such and such. Just good
yeah.
250, 300 page book. Let's make a good 90-minute, 2 hour movie out of it. We did that for years. It worked. Let's get back to that. So,
I do
uh,
agree with you on that.
I think sometimes the ambition for movies gets to be too much, and it's okay to just make a good 2 hour movie based off a 300
Based
page
on a
book.
book.
Like
Yeah,
it's
most of my
fine.
favorite movies are based on books.
Beginning, middle, end, in and out. This movie, the legacy of this movie goes on forever, and it doesn't connect it to anything. It didn't have sequels. It just was a
It's
good
not a
movie.
yeah multiverse
Yeah,
and cinematic universe and all that, which I do enjoy some of that stuff. But yeah, I feel you. Also, I wanted to shout out the writer, screenwriter. I think her name's Gillian Flynn, I want to say, if I remember correctly. Because
sounds
she had to
right.
do a ton of research to like be able to write this book and write this screenplay, like you know about draining the toilet and get draining the blood and then cleaning up the blood and how to stage the crime scene and all that. I'm sure she had to read a ton of crime books, similar to how Amy did, to make the story believable.
She got a bag off of it for sure. I mean, that's every
Definitely.
every writer's dream, right? To just have something that you write, you know, just pop if someone wants to make a movie out of it. And,
Yep. And she got to write the movie, you know,
got to
get
write
paid
the
off that.
movie. She probably came up a couple M's, maybe even 10. And, she
Probably,
can,
yeah.
everything else she writes is, she can code. All you need is
Hopefully,
one. All you need is one.
that's true. All you need is one. Hopefully, she got a good back end too. Um,
I mean, it's all hers. So
yeah, true.
she wrote the book, she wrote the screenplay.
Hmm.
If she had any lawyer worth the damn or any agent worth the damn, she did all right because the movie was very successful. I mean, it got Ben
Correct.
Affleck.
Yeah,
Like it got a
smash.
A-list superstar actor
Yeah,
to lead. And Rosamund
yeah.
Pike is not big, but she's
She's a
solid.
damn good. She's a damn good actress, though.
Yes, she is. She played crazy very, very well.
She plays
Uh,
crazy very, very well.
so she sets him up, and her plan is to just hang out at a trailer park for however many whatever until she's ready to kill
Yeah,
herself. I think it was like 5 days later.
something like
Uh,
that. Yeah.
but her plan gets thwarted because she gets arrogant and she like
Yep.
befriends some people. She goes golfing with people. They find out she's got a bag. They're clearly some sort of like career criminal, drug, whatever.
Bonnie and Clyde type shit.
Right. And so they rob her. She doesn't even have a gun. How do you go on the run without a gun?
Right.
They rob her for all her cash.
Everything.
She kept everything in one spot, so she's assed out. So what
Fucked.
does she do? She calls an
Hits up her
ex-boyfriend
plan B.
who
Her
who's
safety
obsessed
school.
with her.
Yes.
And he's so obsessed with her, he's willing to risk his freedom to hole her up in this sick ass cabin.
Yeah.
And what proceeds is one of the wildest death scenes I've ever seen.
Oh my God. Yeah, man, like the is even I didn't I forgot that scene where where he leaves for work
Yeah.
and she does takes the wine bottle and you know,
Simple, yeah.
inserts it in her
She wants
inserts it
to
into
pass
herself.
a rape kit,
Yeah.
So she frames him for the murder. Well, she kills him, but she makes it look like he
Yeah.
raped her. In
Yes.
order to do that, she has to be able to pass a rape kit, so she bruises herself, and the audience can use their imagination with that.
Yes.
So, and she like knows where the cameras are, and so she like makes it
Hmm.
look like she's running from the camera, running from
Yeah.
him to the camera, and with the blood from the wine. I mean, she did all this off the
An
rip.
evil genius.
Yeah. I hate to say talented, but what else do you call it? You
Yeah,
know,
she is. Yeah.
like
Like for your first
she's
crime, that's
yeah, she's
nuts.
skilled at some evil shit, for lack of a better
Yes.
way to say
And
that.
even we forgot to mention when Nick or Ben Affleck's character Ben Affleck basically he he tracks down Tyler Perry and he's like track down her ex-boyfriends and find out if there's some sort of trend or get their stories or whatever to kind of figure out what who we're dealing with here. And he tracks down one boyfriend and he's like, yeah, she tied me up and we had sex and then she uh next thing you know I wake up and she called police and said I assaulted her and
Yeah,
I pleaded down because I didn't want to go to jail and I can't get jobs or dates or anything.
yeah. He said he hadn't had
Um
a date in 10 years because everyone who Googles him can see that he's a sex offender.
right.
Um, uh, yeah, that's I don't know. Like that scene was a little weird for me. That felt a little propaganda-ish, but I see where it fit in the story. He needed a. It's almost like Ben Affleck's character needed confirmation that she'd done this to other people, and that's kind of where
Right.
Tyler Perry was going with it.
Right.
And so he called up her ex-boyfriends, and every single one of them had a horror story.
Hmm.
Because she was crazy, her character was crazy, and
Yes.
I mean. Crazy, crazy. I mean, it just like she was on like three lives ruined off the rip.
Yep.
So, what else you got for Act Three?
Um, what else? Oh yeah, so we've talked about this before, like with true crime stories and movies and serial killers and all that stuff, about like the incompetency of police work given
Yeah,
the technology of the day. I feel like this movie, a lot of the plot was pushed forward by the incompetency of the police. One, the main investigator's partner, he already had set on his mind set on the idea that Ben Affleck's character did it, which means you already can't do your job and can't see all the full picture or all the clues or all the evidence and all that stuff. You're no longer able to think critically or objectively about the situation. And like also just like thinking about everything that was like they missed, like watching back multiple times, is the stage crime scene, right? So it's staged to make it look like it was a kidnapping instead of a murder, but it took them so long to figure out that it was actually a murder instead of a kidnapping in theory, right?
right.
But so if he staged it so poorly, wouldn't y'all have caught that earlier? Like that didn't really make much sense.
So when she goes back and she's talking to him and she like stomps the floor and that picture falls down,
Hmm.
they caught it earlier. They just didn't want him to know that they were on to him.
Okay.
Um, and so look, obviously they got this one wrong, but I
Yeah.
think most people would have gotten it wrong. She was good,
Yeah.
and no, obviously all everything didn't add up. Like she said, the diary didn't burn right.
Right. The diary was
Uh,
a big clue.
there's a couple things that didn't
Even
really
this.
add up.
Yeah.
But sometimes the case isn't put into a perfect bow, and you
True.
have to, Occam's razor. Like oftentimes the simplest answer is the correct one. And
Right.
if you just objectively looked at the story and the facts of this case, it's hard to come to any other conclusion than he killed his wife.
No,
This
I
just so
get you.
happened to be
The one
the
outlier.
one. But like, if
Yeah.
they followed that logic in 100 different situations like this, they're gonna be right 99 times. You know,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
like so. It's just they just
Um,
got really unlucky.
yeah.
And I'm
S-
not here to
Okay.
defend cops. It's just like
Right, right.
it wasn't perfect, but
Yeah.
if you present that set of facts to me, I would be
Mhm.
like, man, I'm 65-35. He did this. Like,
Yeah, I get you.
I don't have it 100, but I'm real 70-30 on it.
Um,
So,
I feel you. So I also thought that two big clues to me were that I feel like the cops missed was the credit card debt with the shed and all that stuff in there.
yeah,
Okay, so the cards were in his name, so you could prove that he purchased those items. But none of those items had been opened.
yeah,
He would have had no fingerprints on any of those items.
yeah,
I don't know why they never dusted the place for prints. I thought that was weird. I also think the fifth wedding anniversary gift. with the wife and the baby and the husband thing,
Yeah.
where the story behind it was that the husband killed the wife and kid. Like, bro, it's right, like it's right there. Like the answer is right there.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, so and also like you could look at the credit card statements. Was all this stuff bought in a day? Like no one buys that much. Like, like
right,
if you had shown me 6 months of credit cards where he buying this stuff, over the course of time,
systematically
right? It's one thing, but like he bought all this stuff like in one day. He just randomly decided like that doesn't
to
make a
blow a
lot of
hundred
sense.
thousand dollars.
And like you said, all of this stuff is in the. He didn't want to use any of it. Like, who's he
Yeah,
hiding it
right.
from?
So he's buying
Uh,
top shelf golf clubs and not golfing.
right. And like you would have looked, does this man golf? Do we have any
Yeah.
evidence that he, like
Has he been
it's
to a country club? Why does he need a robot dog?
yeah, I get it. Like I said, there's a lot of evidence. It's not a perfect bow.
Right.
But you have to take, which conclusion requires the least amount of
Least
twisting and
amount of,
turning.
yeah,
And the one where he kills his wife requires the least amount of it because it's like what
true.
actually happened is crazier than fiction, right? Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like you expect me to believe that she staged all this to go drown herself in a town.
In the river. Yeah.
It's just it's funny. It's like the Occam's razor of it. It's like which is the simplest solution. I was a
Yeah.
buddy of mine and this girl he was seeing, she went out of town
Hmm.
up to a beach, and he was like, um, she was posting on Instagram, but like no women were in the post and no sound was on the post.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, you have three options here. One is that she went to this beach vacation solo.
Yeah.
Two is that she's with their girls, but when she's posting, they're not laughing in the background. You don't see any purse handles. There's no group pictures.
There's no nails.
Or three, she's with the dude, which requires the least amount of twisting and turning. And
Right.
it's like you
Yeah.
just going to pick, like, it's not to say that any of those can't be true, but if you
Right.
slept before these facts, which one requires you to suspend belief the least amount?
Correct.
It's which she's with the dude. And like,
Exactly.
if you follow that logic, you're going to get to the right answer more times than not. Which
100%.
which solution requires the least amount of suspension of belief? So,
Yeah.
and if you look at these facts, I would say he killed her. That's required.
Yeah, this is
Like
simpler, most simple explanation.
right. So, like I don't think that it was bad police work. It was just man, they got a really tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got for Act 3, man?
And also there was no way for them to know that she knew about the affair, which would have given her the motive to do all that. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, so I like that this movie obviously is a big commentary on, the way we humans relationship with media and crime and parasocial relationships. Um, I love one of the more realistic scenes I love was where they're at the TV station or whatever to do the interview. And he's doing the prep and he's like, wrong answer, wrong words. That triggers something. That sounds like an explosion's gonna come.
Yeah.
All that. I thought that was really interesting because we watch a lot of like interviews and stuff like that, and we watch a lot of daytime and late night TV and talk shows, and it seems like it's really, organic conversation where we know behind the scene there's a list of questions you can't ask, and there's the writers for what food they have in the green room and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that that was a really good way to show it. Um,
It was like,
and I'll
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
Well, it was just like nothing. Very few things you see are organic.
Right.
There was, there's there's always some. There were like a week or two ago, there was like this whole conversation about
Mhm.
fixing plates, which I find to be absurd. Cooking for your man, fixing plate
Oh
conversations.
God,
Like,
yeah, yeah. We as a people need to stop talking about relationships in public.
furthermore, like not even 2 days later, a Meg and Clay TikTok comes up where she's making him fish and spaghetti, and I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all don't see that her team saw that this is a viral conversation, and she could feed into this for engagement. Like, it's not, or you think it's
Correct. And
just
then they're
coincidence, like.
right. And then they're like, "Oh, she put something in it. She put a root on them."
Like
Okay.
it's just that was clearly like her team saw that this was the conversation on the interwebs, and
Hmm.
they were like, okay, so we can just this is a way to juice engagement right
Keep
now
her relevant
because
because her music is not hitting.
you said it, not me.
Yeah.
All right, man. You got anything else for Act 3?
Um. Okay, so They she kills Desi.
Yep.
She drives back home. So they do the little wrap up investigation conversation with the cops. He brings her home. They go on late night television and announce that they're pregnant, whatever. And they're, I guess, supposed to go on with their life. Or, well, actually, no, before they go on with their life about the whole pregnancy, whatever. I wanted to ask you, when you get home with your wife after this situation, the second everyone's like driving away, what do you do?
Honestly,
Killer?
not hell no. I'm low key happy that she came back because now I ain't
Right.
on the book for this.
I'm
He
not.
was going to prison. He was not
He
beating this
was,
case.
no, he was getting the chair.
Like that's a win-win, man. I'm like, look, you crazy as shit, but I'm so glad you saved my ass by coming back. Like,
She did. She did.
however you got back here, I'm at the
Yeah.
crib. I was just arrested for your murder. You
Yep.
came home. We ain't gotta like each other, but we like she said, we stuck. Like,
Yeah.
like we both,
I'd have been on some some Will and Jada shit. Like, we're not life partners. We're not wife and husband, or we life partners. You do what you do, I do what I do. We call it a day.
yeah, like man, I'm like, I'd have been pretty level-headed. I'd have been like, you know what? I get to go home. Because I was gonna do time for your murder and I ain't do it. I ain't even do it. Like,
Yeah.
so no, I mean, look, realistically, obviously, you're gonna be furious.
And
You're
scared as
gonna
hell.
hate this woman,
Yes.
and you can never.
Trust
I mean,
her.
I would never have sex with her again. Like, absolutely not.
No, 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 no.
That's just
Ever, ever,
asking
ever.
for it. But no, I
Yeah.
mean, look, I was looking at a bid for your murder, and you came home, and now I get to go home. And however fucked up the circumstances are surrounding that, those facts don't change. So,
Right.
um, you know, I would, I would take chicken shit and make chicken salad.
And feed it to the wife.
What do you rate it, man? What's your rating on it?
Um, I love this movie, dude. I think this is one of the best performances have been in Affleck's career. I feel like he gets really slept on for some reason just because the film is so good. I'm gonna give this 5 stars.
Wow.
Top
All
shelf
right.
thriller. I watch this not a lot, but I go back and watch this a few times a year.
Uh, I'm gonna give it four, docking it because with some tighter
Okay.
editing, we could have had a 2 hour movie. It's a little long.
Yeah, it got
Two
a
and a,
little long.
especially like she gets back like at 2 hours and 10 minutes, and I'm like, okay, the movie's
Yeah.
over. Why are we? Why are
Right.
there more
Yeah,
scenes?
that's
Like
true.
so, the plot ends at about 2 hours and 10 minutes, but the movie ends at 2 hours and 30, so it gets to be a bit of a slog. So I'm gonna dock them 1 point for
Okay.
running a little long, but it is a great
I'm not mad
movie,
at that.
fantastic
Yeah.
movie, 4 out of 5 stars. That's nothing to be ashamed of. So. All right. Thanks for listening. My name is Darius. That's D's All Up in Your Area on all socials.
And I'm Jordan. Jordy be writing on all socials.
Please rate, like, subscribe. We are at Out the Trunk Pod on all socials. That is Out the Trunk Pod on all socials.
And for any ongoing movie recommendations, reach out to us via email at outthetrunkpod@gmail.com. New email address, guys. Again, that's outthetrunkpod@gmail.com. That's a wrap. Thanks for coming to the movies with us. Next week, we'll be reviewing The Usual Suspects.
All right,
Y'all
y'all.
take care.